We've got Brent Slane and Jason Ferber from Ozarks Public Television. Hi, guys.
Hi, John.
He
How
calls
are
us
you?
old.
We are old.
Well, and
yeah.
in relation to me, you're not old, but still, you look kind of elderly.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, I mean, my beard's not as gray as yours.
That's true. That is
So,
very true.
there you go.
Very true.
So, speaking of gray beards, you guys just introduced a wonderful new
Documentary?
documentary. I don't know, it's more of an entertainment than documentary. I mean, it's really entertaining. And about a famous person from the Ozarks. And
Shad Heller.
Shad Heller, the old blacksmith from Silver Dollar City. How was that? How was it? You guys are the hands-on, the two that kind of shovel the coal and make the fire burn. How was it putting together the story about Shad Heller?
It was actually really very interesting. I mean, we were brought this project in a unique way. Shad's personal estate basically ended up in a flea market. And
What?
because of a copper toe tub is how this project came to us. So the coppersmith at Silver Dollar City, his daughter was looking at the flea market and she was looking for stuff, that was made at Silver Dollar City, and she found one of her dad's toe tubs. And underneath that toe tub was a box, and it was Shad Heller's personal photos. And they were just sitting there wasting away in a flea market. And luckily Jan had the forethought to think, this is some important stuff. This probably shouldn't just get let go. So she got with the owner, they kind of started working with some stuff, and then they formed what's the name of the committee?
Shad Heller Legacy on Facebook.
And they basically kind of came to us and said, there's this great story here, and these pictures need to be preserved, and what can we do? And so we kind of picked the ball up from there and went with it.
Forevermore.
And as you know, whenever you're looking for imagery for things of history,
Oh, yeah.
you need more than what you can find.
Yeah.
And it was great to have this resource come to us in tubs. And they got it organized and they're preserving it. And we've been able to use several of the photos and the images in this program.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, it's just one of those flukes that it hadn't already been destroyed by water or fire or something
The
else.
mice were working on it.
That's incredible.
So, I mean, that's really kind of the basis where it came from. And then, obviously people that knew Shad, friends of Shad, we got in touch with them so we could get, interviews and context. And, I mean, he had an amazing career. I mean, this man was born in the 20s, graduated basically when the Great Depression hit in Prescott, Arizona, traveled back and forth between Arizona and Pennsylvania, and just any job he could find. But the entire time he loved theater. He loved acting. So that was his thing. His passion was acting, but he did anything to survive. So he learned how to be a blacksmith at the Bad Dad Mines in Arizona. He learned how to do sign painting and, build structures and things like that. He did all that to survive. And he got married, and his first marriage didn't go so well. And because it was the Great Depression, he ended up having an alcohol problem. And he eventually kind of decided to give up that life. And Brent, you can kind of tell how the circus part.
So life happens, and he literally jumps on a freight train in the middle of the night and rides up to Phoenix and joins the Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus as a carpet clown. And for 7 years, he's on the circus train and learns from some of the greats. Emmett Kelly, Missouri native.
Right.
And the guys that invented the clown car, all the clowns coming out of the car, he was around those figures in his time in the circus. So fast forward 7 years, an event occurs when he's in Independence, Kansas with the circus that forces him to realize he needs to find himself, he needs to find his sobriety and leave the train. He ends up in Independence, he finds his way down to Coffeyville, and gets a job with the Acme Janitorial Supply Company in Coffeyville.
Sounds like a Roadrunner cartoon.
Yeah, pretty much does, doesn't it?
And finds who ended up being Ruth Souls, and she was office manager at a local place, and they found out they had a love of theater together. She was in the local community theater there in Coffeyville. And then, as fate has it, they got married. He was on his sales route for Acme in Springfield, Missouri, the crossroads of the nation. And he had some time to kill, so he found his way down to Reed Spring. And as he was going down through the hills and hollers, he started realizing that it was much like the Poconos, his boyhood home,
Right.
with a lot of hills and creeks and things. Well, as Shad was Shad, he found the waterfront players down where the landing is now, basically, that was putting on the play The Shepherd of the Hills. So the Central Missouri State University players were doing a summer theater program down there. And he went back, told his wife, Ruth, all about it. They came back for 2 years. They had their roles reprised in that waterfront show as players in the...
And what years was this?
That would have been 58 through 60.
Wow.
Yeah. So those years, and then they decide finally just to move to Branson. They were commuting to do the play
Oh my gosh.
from Coffeyville. It was that important to them. And I mean, they moved to Branson, and then they literally moved to Branson right at the right time. 1960 is such a crucial year
my
for Branson.
goodness, yes.
It was the year the lake started, Table Rock starts filling up. It's the year that Silver Dollar City opens. They were there opening day as street performers, part-time. They saw an ad in the paper, and they were there, street performers, opening day of Silver Dollar City.
Now, during this, whenever he was working with the performers doing the play Shepherd of the Hills on the waterfront, the Trimbles realized that they wanted to be bringing that play back to the homestead.
Right.
So as our listeners are familiar with the area, the Shepherd of the Hills, he and a friend from Kansas, James Colley, co-wrote the Shepherd of the Hills play that you see today, largely.
Wow.
The outdoor drama.
And created the play that largely is portrayed today. They had a lease agreement with them and had that with an outdoor drama theater that they built. And for 6 years, until '66, they performed that. Ruth was cast as Molly in the program, hence Molly.
Yeah.
And Shad had found his name after reading a National Geographic of some Appalachia folks, and he had found one of the names being Shadrach, and he liked that, and he thought he would just shorten that to Shad. So that's how Shad and Molly Heller came to be.
Forevermore.
Yeah. And then, the story keeps going from there. So I want people to keep watching.
I can't wait to see the rest of it.
Yeah.
I really, that'd be awesome. And it's shown again Thursday night.
Thursday night at 8 o'clock.
All right.
And it is currently online at optv.org.
optv.org.
Streaming on any of your PBS smart devices.
Right. All right. Yeah, that's going to be worth the effort to see, because it's just, he was a fascinating guy. I met him on several occasions, and he was amazing, just amazing.
Yeah, for me, who never got to meet him and getting to know him through the interviews in the edit bay and stuff like that, it was so interesting because, he was able to transform himself so much.
Yeah.
I mean, very first when I started, I couldn't recognize him without the iconic beard.
Yeah.
And then when I saw him in the mustache, I'm like, okay, there you go. And Shad had lost his teeth. He doesn't remember where. And so he would take his teeth out to play certain characters.
Doesn't remember where.
No, it was
Okay.
during his drinking years. He doesn't. He does not remember where he lost his teeth.
Well, guys, thank you for coming by. Tell us about this. We look forward to seeing it on TV, and come back anytime. We're always happy to help OPT. You're a great resource and a great positive influence on the city of Springfield.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Really mean that. Thank you a lot. Okay, so that's Brent Slane, Jason Ferber from OPT. Been here talking about the Shad Heller, Master of His Craft, which will be on Thursday night on the OPT, and that is streaming online right now. Guys, thank you so much.